Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for February 2022. We're going to jump right in here, Libra, and wrong camera. We're going to just get started and see what is going on for you at this time here, Libra, for the month of February. This is going to be part 1, and there will be a part 2 available down below, so make sure to check out part 2, where we're going to go even deeper than this. So let's see here, Libra. What is going on for you? You start off with this vulture spirit. It says depression, anxiety, worry that something is against you. So what I would say here is actually the first row isn't that bad. You have the Fool, the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. Not terrible energy. Again, these tea leaf cards, I take them with a grain of salt. I love this deck, by the way, but I've finally decided that I do love it. But again, some of them are just like overly negative for no reason, I feel. And, you know, again, it's not going to really necessarily apply to everyone in a general reading, I feel. But what I will say is I do feel like there's something that you desire to kind of like overcome here that requires a lot of personal strength. The reason I say this is because you have the Fool. I'll just show you. You have the Fool and then the Queen and the King of Wands right here. It's like this is not necessarily like an accurate way to read tarot, but it's almost like they are kind of like forming this line right here. If you can imagine a line here, Libra, that's how I'm seeing it in my head. And you have the Fool. Fool is about taking a leap of faith. The Queen and the King of Wands, they ask you to be bold. They ask you to be assertive. They ask you to really go for things that you desire to go for. You know, they really have that, you know, kind of not forceful energy. We're not talking about like forcing things to happen, but, you know, there is a difference between using your own personal strength and your own personal power and forcing something to happen. It's like if you're strong enough, let's pretend that you have this giant ass door in front of you and maybe it weighs a billion pounds. It's like if these two right here had the strength to just push it open, it's like, why not, you know, use your personal strength? That's how I'm seeing this reading. It's like saying you're strong enough to step through a doorway. It's a heavy ass door, but I feel like behind that door could be the Ten of Cups, which is amazing. You know, really very positive outcome here. But again, if you didn't have the strength to open it, I just feel like the door wouldn't budge at all. So, you know, I think there's a difference between, you know, forcing something to happen, but also being strong enough to make something happen. And that's kind of like what's going on here in your reading. I mean, immediately, this reading is very clear to me, if you can't tell. So in this row, you have the Fool, the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. I do feel like you're actually very clear on the fact that you are ready to take a leap of faith with the Queen of Swords. This could be you showing up here in the reading. She represents seeing things clearly for the first time. She can also represent a transformation. There's a butterfly right here by my finger. And, you know, the King of Swords also has butterflies on his card as well. So I do feel like you could be undergoing a transformation. I think we're all going through a significant transformation. I talk about this all the time. We're probably living in one of the most transformative times ever. And, you know, I've been talking about 2025 for like 2-3 years now, something like that. And, you know, I really feel we're going to see some significant changes going on between then and now. That doesn't mean that there won't be changes, before or after that time. But again, I feel like the kind of like the bulk of the changes will be happening around that time, and maybe like 2020 or like 2033 as well, somewhere around there. We could see some more big changes. But you know, I think that in the immediate future, that's where we're going to see the most change. It's going to require us to change as people because to kind of like get to the other side, we have to be bold, assertive. I feel like that's one of the traits that the universe is really encouraging people to embrace, is kind of like that boldness, that assertiveness. We're kind of being set free in a way. And, I feel like if you're free and, if you're free to do whatever you want, that can also be a little bit scary. And I kind of see that here for you, especially with the Queen of Wands in the first row. And the Queen of Wands, she can represent needing to be bold and assertive. And that's kind of like what I feel for you here with that Queen of Wands. It's more like a need, if that makes sense, to kind of tap into the power. But it's a power that you already have. In your next row, you have this Valley card. It says deep personal strength and peace that assures success. Exactly what I was saying. I do feel like this is, I don't want this to sound like a bad thing here, Libra, but I do feel that tapping into this energy could be a little bit of a challenge. Because it's like you've never done it before. I feel like you've never even tried to, push that giant ass door open and maybe it's always been in front of you. And that's how I'm seeing this. It's like you've never tried before, but it's like if everybody is saying to you, hey, that doorway over there weighs 1 billion pounds or 1 billion tons, right? And everybody's like, there's no way. And then you're just going to think that there's no way to do it unless you try. So it's like, I feel like everybody's saying, hey, this doorway that you want to step through, it exists. It's like everybody sees the doorway. But it's like they're also saying, but nobody's ever tried it, and it's too heavy. So you're going to have to take this how it resonates. Probably one of the weirder messages I've had in a while. But I feel like this could be true for any area of your life. It's like maybe you want love, but maybe everybody in your life is saying, oh, everybody cheats, or everybody lies, or everybody steals, or everybody does whatever. Everybody says everybody does, right? So, it's like there's whatever it is for you. It could be anything. It's like maybe everybody in your life is telling you there's no way you'll have a successful business or you'll never have whatever you want. But I feel like the door kind of needs to be pushed on here, and you're going to have to tap into your own kind of like inner strength here with this Valley card. It's kind of funny because I was watching an entrepreneur the other day, and he did a video about why he never goes home. And he said that he never goes home because he doesn't like being around the energy, basically, of the people, from his home, because it's like he's leveled up and, they're down here and he feels like their energy is dragging him down or whatever. It's like I kind of understood what he was saying about that, but at the same time, it kind of pissed me off at the same time because, which I don't care what someone does in their own life, but at the same time, it's kind of like, man, it's like, are you that weak? It's like this kid, he's built like $100 million business. Some of you might know who I'm talking about here. And it's like you can't, protect yourself. You can't control the energy. You can't control your own feelings. To me, that kind of said a lot. It actually made me think of him differently after that. Again, not that I care what people do. I don't think it should matter. But at the same time, it's kind of like, it made me think. That's all, Libra. And I feel like some of you could be having these moments where you're thinking, that's why I'm saying this, and we see it here. You have the King of Wands, the 10 of Wands, and the 3 of Wands. It's like, do I stay or do I go? 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is waiting for the perfect moment when there never will be a perfect moment. It's a card of your ships coming in, but I almost feel that is too simple for you, Libra. This is not about your ships coming in necessarily. I think there is a result in the future that you're hoping for, which would be your ships coming in, of course. But I feel like this is more, do I stay or do I go? Do I accept these burdens that I've been experiencing in my life? Or do I, take the bold approach? He's even, I think it's interesting that the King of Wands here on the table, he is pointing towards the Fool. And you also have the Lovers here. Again, I think it would be easy to say that this reading is basically talking about love coming into your life. It's like, okay, there's a fire sign who wants to make an offer. There you go, 30 seconds or 3 seconds. I just did it. There's a fire sign that wants to make an offer for you here if you want love. Like that would be the easy way to read this reading is what I would say to you. But I would also say don't lower your standards if you're having a new person coming into your life. I think that's very clear. Although, again, I do feel like there could be a love offer. So I think that's the easy way to read this reading. I think the true way to read this reading is that you're at a crossroads, and again, you're standing in front of this giant doorway, and this doorway is probably going to expand your life. 3 of Wands. You also have this flag card. It says, do not be tempted to lower your standards. Again, could be in love. I think that's the easy way to read this reading. But I think the hard way, the good way, the better way, the expansion way is to say that this is saying that you can plant your flag somewhere. It's like that you can build the life that you desire, which is probably something that looks more like the 10 of Cups that we see right here. So in this row, you have the Lovers, the Page of Cups, and the 10 of Cups. Like I said, definitely could be a love offer. If you're getting a love offer from a fire sign, looks pretty good to me, is what I would say here. Just make sure you're not lowering your standards. But for most of you, I feel like this is your dream life. 10 of Cups is like fortune after difficulty. It is happiness, true happiness, good things coming in for you, and kind of like rewards, blessings, all those other good things. But I feel that this 10 of Cups is on the other side of the door, the Lovers. If you notice on the Lovers, it's like this guy, his tree here is kind of like dead, and her tree is alive over here. This right here is your higher self angel calling out to you, but it's like you can't see things clearly. You see how the clouds are between the two people? On the Lovers, the clouds, it's kind of like it's like you're being guided. You're being guided by intuitive messages. You're being guided by your higher self, your dreams, your daydreams. Maybe you get messages, take it how it resonates. But the clouds are still there. They're still kind of blocking the higher self angel. So I really feel you're going to have to tap into your feelings at this time. I feel like you're going to have to listen to yourself as well. And I feel like you're going to have to listen to your higher self, probably in your dreams, daydreams. If you have like random thoughts or anything like that, I would pay attention to that. I think it's a time of symbols. I was driving on my drive in here. I was driving by a gas station and the gas price was $3.33. So I was like, hey, there you go. I don't even remember what I was thinking about, of course. But people always ask me about repeating numbers. And I always say, repeating numbers kind of remind us of whatever we're thinking about. If you're thinking about something and you see a repeating number, chances are it's like the universe saying, like, pay attention to that thought. That thought is important for you. That's how I look at it. You can go deeper, of course, into the numerology, but I think like down and dirty, that's a good way to read repeating numbers. I'm getting all that here with the Lovers. Again, not really what the Lovers represent, but just intuitively, that's kind of what I'm getting here. Really, I get that this is a crossroads. I feel like I say the same thing to you all the time, Libra. It's like you and Sagittarius are the two signs that always get this message. If you have Sagittarius in your chart, I haven't done the reading yet, but I would definitely watch their reading because it's probably going to have some similar advice. But what I would say here is you always get the similar advice of like needing to potentially move away from what you have known for a very long period of time and, go behind this like very heavy door. It's like the transition itself is going to require some, very strong pushing. But it's like once you get to the other side, I feel like what's on the other side is freedom, or the 10 of Cups is on the other side. It's like things are peeking out at you here. I think that's what you need to realize about this. It's like, I think you could be thinking you're going to go get into a relationship when everybody in your life is like, no, that's a 1 billion ton doorway, right? But it's like, I feel like there are sparkles of kind of other ideas popping into your head where it's like maybe you have a friend who's been married for like 20 years and they like never have a problem. And so it's like you're just seeing another way. I feel like it's almost like you're seeing these, like I said, sparkles. I see it out of the corner of my eye right here. It's like I feel like you're seeing these like kind of moments of clarity, moments of what is possible. Is it possible for everyone? No, because again, clearly you have people in your life who say otherwise, but I don't know. I would take the risk here, Libra. I like where this is going. So thank you for being here, Libra. I really appreciate it. Again, there will be a part 2 linked up down below in the pinned comment.